He's not that bad. Okay. You are on a mission, Hinduman likes to get higher than Durgis. Well, that's not that too hard back. Okay. Am I feeling better? No, I feel like poo. But the show must go on, ladies and gentlemen. Right, welcome back. Once again, another Combine on your screens, talking about it a little bit more in detail. This time it was Appointed Gnome who requested some informations. It's a 32-minute loss. He goes 3-2-5. He's currently in Diamond 5. How do you think you played? I think I played well, but I don't know what specifics and how to improve. Okay. What aspects of the game did you struggle with? We had not much jungle pressure, so I felt like it was really awkward to rotate for me. Okay, you didn't have much jungle pressure. The reason I'm going, it shouldn't really matter whether they've got jungle pressure, like you've not got jungle pressure or not. Like you can become a secondary jungle if you get the opportunity to do that now. So, we'll see. What aspects of the game did you feel comfortable with? Laning phase seemed fine, but Cyrus got a few kills, not on me due to jungle misplace. Okay, that can always happen. Like you could always make mistakes as a jungler. For some reason, when I go into the solo lane at the start of the game, I always seem to want to give up first blood on first blood every single time when I'm a jungler. I don't know why. I think it's just a mentality that junglers sometimes have. That's why they jungle, because they're not great in the lane scenarios. I guess they don't respect the enemy laners they're against as much as they would do if they were actually playing solo. I remember this game already. I remember you from the mountains. Great driving strike. Great driving strike, honestly, overall. What I'd like you to have done then, which is ever so slightly different. You do get first blood, no? But this is just for your own personal play. We'll watch this one more time. What I'd like you to have done is the fact that your whole team was there and your damage dealers. You technically are a damage dealer, I know. Okay? Whittling them down on HP is good, and sometimes it's hard to get yourself in melee range to land those autos. But what I'd like to have seen is after this driving strike, as a team you're trying to pick a target, I guess, and you're just whacking on whatever's there right now and hitting everything. You get frosted, which is okay. And then you turn your attention back to the fight. What I'd like to have seen right now is instead of swinging wildly like you do, I'd like you to just ran. I'd like you to have just ran and keep closing the gap and keep pushing them away. You sit on the front line and you keep pushing away by just walking at them. When you auto attack, you do move slower. Always remember that. If you would have just kept walking here, you could have kept the pressure on this team all the way through this fight and kept zoning them out. The longer you keep running at them, the longer they keep running this direction, the more chance your cooldown will come back up of driving strike. These people are still dead. Your teammates will clean this up for you. They've got ranged autos, yeah? Agni and Apollo will hit these ranged autos and make an impact on it. You can keep closing the gap though to keep trying to keep the pressure on these. It's not a massive thing, but it's something that could have helped you out a little bit in terms of even potentially picking up a second kill, honestly, or confirm this kill onto the Neef even easier. I feel like the team just wanted that one kill. I don't understand why we're not looking at just continuing on this way. You personally know. You could have just come this way and started whacking on Ymir, because Ymir's trying to support, and Ymir should be taking massive amounts of damage to the face right now from you for being here. You could even reposition behind him. If you would have thought about this, you could have just walked around the back. If you would have just run in instead of chasing the Neef, which was dead anyway, you could have been over here. And then this Ymir's in a world of trouble because he's stuck between you and the enemy, and you can body block as well. But now they all get out because of it. Apart from Neath. But you could have got more. Notice how your driving strike's off cooldown now as well. If you would have continued that chase and, like I said, not gone for the autos, you probably would have been in a better position to be able to keep the pressure on. I like the play though overall. Your driving strike was good. Hit 3 members. Good damage too. So it's not a misplay as much as you could have possibly got more out of it. Early laning phase. Osiris Cabrakan, you gotta kind of respect it because they've got the burst is insane from Cabrakan early on. Good wave clear. Good pressure. Thought I should leave lane now, really. And he does. Glad you just focused on farming. That was a nice driving strike though to actually connect with him too. Give him some extra poke. Level 4, got the right skills leveled. All good. Nice zoning. Really nice zoning. No, really nice zoning. Just zone him off those minions. Give him the threat. Risk. Yeah, I'm not sure about that poke. Was the poke needed? Poke really needed? I don't know. You were doing fine without having to go aggressive on him then. You put your driving strike on cooldown for a second. One thing I want to know about just this little thing here. It's only a small one again. Like I think there's only going to be small corrections you could have done. Okay. There's a driving strike from the first wave. This one that you stand there on. Yeah, you're standing there on that one. I like that positioning. The second wave you could have done something a little bit different. Like that driving strike I feel was wasted. You should have been focusing on minions. You could have pushed this into tower earlier. But then when this minion wave gets to the tower here. When this minion wave gets to the tower here, the first 3 minions die to the tower anyway. Well, 2 of them do. But then you do this position here, you actually stood with the minions like, if you come at me, I'm going to hit you. If you actually land the Earthbreaker, which you end up looking for here, you're getting tower aggro. And you can't really follow up with it because you have to walk behind him and drive and strike him out with the Earthbreaker. He's not got minion aggro from this either, by the way you're doing it. All you had to do is take a step back, and you actually set yourself up for more poke and more harassment than standing where you are doing. If you take a step back to around here where my mouse is right now, you can Earthbreaker him if he comes in for the minions, yeah? You can Earthbreak him if he comes in for the minions. You pull him out of tower range, which means you can walk behind him and drive and strike him into the lane and keep beating him up some more. It's only a small thing. You actually make it easier for him to farm these minions and poke you at the same time by standing here. Like if we see Osiris right now, his 2 is on cooldown, but take into account like his 2 will hit all of you right now, and you're not doing anything for yourself by being there. If you do hit the Earthbreaker, what's going to happen? You're going to take a tower aggro. The first shot you'll connect with, so you'll get hit by the first shot. If you want to drive and strike him to poke him more, you're going to get hit by a second shot as well if you go for the drive and strike. And then the situation becomes very, very real in terms of your cooldowns are then off. Sorry, your cooldowns are both on CD. You're on cooldown rather. Blah. You're on cooldown, and there's nothing else you can do apart from just use autos. What will he potentially have? Well, he's got very low cooldowns on his abilities anyway, so he'd be able to spam them back at you a little bit more. He could potentially turn this fight around. You're both at a similar sort of build as well. So just take a step back next time. Take a step back as Hercules. Take a step back. Earthbreaker, driving strike into lane, more pressure. And then we saw you go for it then. So, back to how it is. That was nice. Once again, full harass, full poke. I'm glad you retreated there, actually. I think the retreat was a good idea instead of trying to tank up those minions. You could have got yourself in a world of hurt for no reason. Solo lane is solo lane. A farm off. Put down a nice ward. Good. You know, blue buff's coming up. There's a potential for an invader, guys. Good harass once again. You could have pressured him a little bit harder then, I guess, no? He had potential to do that, but I guess you're worried about Cabrakan and Thor's low on HP. Pick up blue and into lane, farm the wave. He didn't really feed there, he got dived. Like, there was a difference between him feeding the lane. The blink in from Cabrakan, you could have respected it a little bit more. You could have helped with it too, though, as well, I guess. You could have thought about the blink was available. Should have been aware that they could have potentially go with that, especially with a Cabrakan. You could have actually saved him with a driving strike, pushed him into tower, possibly got a kill, turned that one around. Risky, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you could have potentially done that. Can't really rotate against this Osiris, because Osiris got pressure on you now. Trying to turn around this fight, good boulder. Unlucky. Oh, you do actually hit him with it. Don't chase the kill, though. Why don't we Earthbreaker back in then? We could have Earthbreakered these two back into this sort of position here, right now. Like if you hit the Earthbreaker there, you bring him into a group of 4. It's possible for you. It wasn't hard. Earthbreaker, Earthbreaker, Earthbreaker. Oh, you were looking for the double. Just find a single in that situation. Not much else to come out from it, back to farming. fight him. Beat him up a little bit. It's fine. Actually, no, you didn't clear the archers. Why are you not clearing them? Like, if you were going to base anyway. 3 was a little bit premature, but it's okay. Now we base. Look at our boots. Max lane. Once I'm building the Osiris, let's just check in with that. I'm going for Witchblade next, you should know this. So fighting him's going to be almost impossible as Hercules. It's not that you're a bad fighter against him, it's almost impossible. Bit too early for the blue. I'd probably boulder the lane there. You could have bouldered the lane as it was coming in just to really full pressure on you. But you'll be alright. Can we rotate here? We could have rotated. I mean, you know Osiris is rotating too. What's our plan? You know Osiris is rotating because you got a ward placed. Options right now. You're late for the rotation. It's either rotate now or push tower. I mean, this rotation's too late. Honestly, no. Unless you have mid-camp spawn point time. I guess you have mid-spawn time. I like the rotation though. Overall, I think the rotation is a good idea, just because there's nothing else for you to actually do. You could have pressured tower instead, you could have taken mid-harpies, but maybe you'll punish people elsewhere. Boulder boys? Oh, that was painful! Miscommunications. Report for Herc. Now you should know Osiris is coming in, because he's not in lane anymore. And if they're looking for more kills, you should be on zone here. This should be zone gnome, not chase. This should be zone, not chase. This should be zone, not chase. If Osiris comes in and cleans up, this is on you for not zoning. Luckily, he doesn't know, but he could have. He really should have, actually. Now you should be on zone still. You should still be on zone here. Zone, 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 zone. So you just let in this Osiris walk up. Just drive and strike him away, buddy. Unless you wait to kill him. I mean, I know he's only got Hog 1, but keeping him in the fight, he actually cleans up better than he should have done. The rotation was good. You didn't get as many kills as you probably could have in that engagement. Your zoning on Osiris could have been better. You probably could have zoned Osiris from that, honestly. He actually outplayed you because of it. Not because you made mistakes, but you could have zoned. If you zoned, it was much better for you to zone there than to try and fight. There was no reason to fight. Could have potentially pushed that tower in more. Like, I don't know why we chose to rotate for this now. I think you should just push tower here. Like, Osiris isn't here right now. You've got a ward placed here, so if you rotate through this way, you're going to be in a fine position to just get out again. You've still got Boulder too. He's not going to kill you from 100 to 0 at this point in time. Especially with Rimforge and Boots online. Like, you're going to be able to get away from it. But you could have whacked this tower down right now. This tower could be dead. And then you open the lane up even more for your rotations. But the rotation might pay off now. Older boys. Bit of overkill. But you get a pick. You're looking for more. Probably Cabrakan I would have chosen here. Yeah, you do. Okay. Good zone. That's better zone. That's better zone. Now you need to go back to solo right now. Before you lose tower. You blew both subs, so you can't really base. You know he's got a sentry there now. So this is risky, walking right past it to do blue. But you're going to go over it. Hopefully go back to base and get a sentry to clear that one up. Or are you just well aware of what's going on? Should I expect them to be at the blue? You might be able to catch this and kill him. Nice. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the Earthbreaker. You get the blue out of it, so it's fine. Good driving strike. He needs to get out that Thor. You body blocked him a little bit there as well, though. But he's going to get out. You should fight that. You should fight that. You should fight that, really. I don't know why he was scared of fighting that little engagement then, like he was on half health and out of mana. After that stun, he had nothing. Why are you backing out? Why back out there? If he wants to go aggressive, you could have baited him with the 2 then. I'd have actually been tempted to go 1-2 and then boulder him and he'd be in a world of hurt because he had no mana at all. Your decision to base there I don't think was the right one, just because they were looking for lane pressure and you had no reason to base. You were on good mana, good HP. You only got rank 2 of Witchblade, and so you give up tower for free now. I don't think you needed to give up the tower there. Don't think you need to give up the tower there at all. You need to get the tower in response now. Nice sentry though, nice sentry. You should be trying to get this tower. You should punish him for staying in lane now. Not sure why you chose this path either. Like, you came back through this path. Why did you choose to come through this path? You just cleared his sentry. He's stuck in lane. He was overextended. You're in a good item build to actually be able to kill him here in this situation. Should have rotated through this way, buddy. Should have rotated through this way. You could have killed him. You could be a little bit more aggressive than you actually are being. I'd probably boulder this wave, just to clear it super fast, and then kill tower. Kill tower, kill tower, kill tower, cool. Don't worry about him, kill tower. Nice, walk away. All good. Now the map's opened up, Gold Fury's a possibility here. You need to think about this really quick. Alright, Hog, driving strike, get to the fight. That's how he's going to beat you to it though. I mean, realistically, you had 2 options there on that one there, Gnome. This is the interesting thing about solo lane, and people need to realise, is that when the towers have gone, when the solo towers have gone, there's no pressure on that side of the map anymore. So I kind of prefer Osiris' decision to join the fight earlier than your decision to turn up late and farm that extra wave. You pushing that wave in is not going to deny him anything. In this, because the next wave is already coming. It just means that when you come back to this lane, the lane's going to be pushed up towards his edge of the tower. He's probably still going to be about where it's going to be now, which is around this sort of area. So then when this whole fight finishes over at the Gold Fury side, you come back to a lane that is in their favour for farming and not your favour for farming, which means that for you to farm you'd have to overextend. This can be good in some ways if you manage to get the Gold Fury and get a DSide, side, because then you can try and push that lane in, or mid lane, not have to worry about the push on the right hand side. But sometimes it might be better just to leave the lane where it was. The extra experience from farm is cool and all that, but at the same time, if by not choosing to do that, it means that the lane would be in a decent situation still. It would have been frozen middle here for you to come back to and farm and have the same sort of risks as Osiris does in terms of turning up to this lane. Right now, if you come to this lane after this engagement, the lane's probably going to be around here. I'll try and keep an eye on that just to see what actually happens with this engagement now. But Osiris got involved in this fight way earlier on, and now there's issues. I can see you were looking for a boulder there. It would have been an awesome play if you pulled it off, but the delay on trying to get the boulder out means that your teammates get chunked down even more. It's going to be a big driving strike here. Boulder, boys. Nice. Good boulder. 3. Awesome. That's what I want to see. Do the abilities out as best you can. You actually don't have to do too many, I guess. You could have hit it a bit more. Zone for the Apollo. No, don't go that way anymore. Good decision to change your mind. Go a different route. That was all down to Osiris, honestly, and that was because his rotation was quicker than yours. And his rotation was correct. But can you make something out of this? I think you can get a couple of kills here still. Look for who's tanking it more than anything else. Look for who's tanking it every single time in these engagements. Who's low? Who's low? Who's low? You zoned all these squishies off. You're looking for a kill. He's got Mystical Mail. Going for the Earthbreaker there, not really going to help you out that much because you're not going to connect with it. And Earthbreaker, he's only rank 3 right now. How much damage is that doing? Just 160. I guess it's better than I thought it was. Pop your 3. Joke. Not going to get anything else out of that. I think the full commitment to Kerbracken was probably the wrong choice. Kerbracken is the bursty guy, but at the same time, look at his build. I mean, he's got Mystical Mail online. Ymir was the one with the Hog 3. Yeah? Ymir was the one with the Hog 3. You could have taken out Ymir. Ymir was in a similar sort of spot to the Kerbracken. And if you look at it, 40 physical protection, 200 health, 300 health, 60 physical protection. So Kerbracken was actually tankier in this instance than the Ymir. So going for the Kerbracken, probably the wrong call. And the fact that he was higher level means that he had more base HP anyway. He was actually, well, he's probably like level 15, I think, before that Gold Fury. So you could have gone on Ymir. Ymir would have died quicker. He's also the Hog 3 for the team. I probably would have prioritised Ymir over everybody else in that engagement, just because of the Hog 3 being there. And then probably tried to turn attention to cover Tactician on this Nox, because obviously the burst damage. Realistically, you're probably not going to be able to kill Sparks from full health either, so... Want to notice as well where the main lane position is right now. You're about to respawn soon. Oh, I've had that on the wrong side the whole game. Apologies, guys. It shouldn't be there. It should be this one. the issues. But looking at the lane, just out of interest as well, in this one. Look what the lane's position right now. It's still pushed up in their favour, which means that if you come back to this lane, it's risky for you to come back to the lane. And you're overextended in this scenario here. It may still keep pushing back in your favour because of the extra archer minion there in the end. Luckily, it's going to get back in about time. I guess it's okay. Luckily, he pushes it in as well. Back to viewing. I think your decision to rotate on that camp was what hurt your team. I think that's something you could improve on, and you could just realise the potential of the Gulf Fury being such a big threat. Osiris turned up to that fight as quickly as he did, and the impact he had on it was huge. You could tell the impact he had on it was huge by his KDA. So, yeah, he had a lot of involvement in that. Good driving strike. Boulder. You could have bouldered then. The boulder was really delayed, and I don't know why you delayed the boulder. Like, that should have been just instant boulder on this one. I'll just watch this back again so I can see it. This should have been an instant boulder, honestly. Just fast forward it to it again. Here we go. This should have been instant boulder, boys, when you see this opportunity here. Driving strike. Boulder right now. Boulder right now. Boulder right now. So there's so many opportunities for boulders. You're trying to land autos instead of just throwing boulder. And in doing so, you delay the boulder so damn much that you end up missing it. You didn't need to walk forward. You just had to throw the boulder out. Just had to throw the boulder out, buddy. And in doing so, she lives so much longer. She gets more damage off, and it sets the rest of your team up for death and destruction. I'm not sure if I'm saying a lot this one or just a little, but these are the things I could really notice. This is a big rotation from you. That was big. That was huge. She's probably still going to live with backflip though, or is she? Yeah, but for how long? Good rotation in the end. It paid off for you. Go back to right and farm. No, okay, back to base. Witchblade online. Yep, build's fine. I'd probably considered here, instead of going for the Jotuns, but she looks like you're probably going to go for, I'd probably would have gone Stone of Gaia. Just because of the matchup you against. This Kabrakan is causing a lot of issues for the team. He has a lot of burst damage too. Plus, on top of that, Nox is Nox at the moment, and she's very, very strong in terms of her burst damage. So those two things would have helped you to survive a little bit longer, and the extra sustain probably would have helped you out a little bit more as well. So I think I probably would have done that. I'm not going to watch much more of this Gnome. I think, from what I could see about the ways you could improve, you could definitely see there was options in lane to go a little bit more aggressive. Some of your position in lane could have been a little bit crisper. Your rotations were pretty good. You just need to think about your abilities a little bit more. Pre-plan what you're going to do into the engagements. Sometimes I think you overfought the engagements actually a little bit, like you were like trying to save the boulder. No reason to really save it. I mean, when you look at the cooldown, it's only 90 seconds. It's not that short of a cooldown. And the amount of burst damage you can do from that can really cause a lot of issues and force a disengage at the least. The rotation to the Gulf Fury was very, very late, and the Osiris rotated early. I don't think it was worthwhile. If the tower was still up, I would call it worth. The tower was not up though, so it was not worthwhile, and it ended up like snowballing them a little bit further into this game. It wasn't down to you as a whole. I'm just saying your individual decision making could have prevented some of this, or you know, helped out a little bit more than you did. I think overall though, your mechanics are good. Your decision making to an extent is very, very good. You understand how to play the lane out, and you know about positioning, how to clear the wave and play Hercules, obviously. But you could always improve. There's always little pointers you can get off that. So good luck going into it. Hopefully you'll get yourself onto a team and we'll get to commentate you some more in the future. Appointed, no.